Have you ever noticed how you feel like a victim, small, powerless in one relationship, and then in another one, you catch yourself being a perpetrator and pushing someone down without meaning to? In the relationship game, the victim and perpetrator are two sides of the same dynamic. And this dynamic is playing out very big in the world at the moment. It's not something that only a few of us are struggling with. And it's evident everywhere around you. By using the square process, we can start identifying these unseen patterns that are pushing us into those areas without us even realizing we're becoming the victim or we're becoming the perpetrator. And by seeing these patterns, we can actually start stepping out of that cycle. Let's get started into the square process for victim and perpetrator. As always, we divide a square into four smaller squares, and we look at four different dynamics around a certain polarity. So we start with I love being a victim, and we answer that statement. I hate being a victim, and we answer that. Then we look at I love being a perpetrator, and I hate being a perpetrator. Let's look at I love being a victim. Why would that be true? Playing victim gets me sympathy, attention, and care I might not otherwise receive. It lets me avoid responsibility. I can say it's not my fault. Victimhood makes me feel morally superior. I'm the good one. It allows me to manipulate without looking like the manipulator. It justifies my inaction. I don't have to take risks or change in any way. It keeps me in familiar pain, which feels safer than uncertain growth. Let's look at I hate being a victim. Why would that be true? I feel powerless and dependent on others to save me. It creates resentment. People eventually get tired of rescuing me. I attract relationships where I'm undervalued or taken advantage of. Victimhood locks me in blame, which means I never solve the actual underlying issues. It makes me invisible. No one respects a perpetual victim, and my identity shrinks down to my wounds instead of my potential. Let's go over and look at what it's like to be a perpetrator, why the statement, I love being a perpetrator, would be true. I feel powerful. I control the dynamic instead of being controlled. It keeps me safe from vulnerability. I hurt first, so I don't get hurt. I get compliance. Others bend to my will. It validates my dominance and feeds my ego. I use aggression or manipulation to get my needs met faster. It lets me mask my own insecurity under the armor of strength. Let's look at why I would hate being a perpetrator. I create guilt and shame that eat at me later. I damage trust and push people away, leaving me isolated. My reputation suffers. People remember the harm, not the context. I attract retaliation. Victims eventually fight back. I lose intimacy because people fear me instead of connecting with me. And being the bad guy confirms my darkest fear, that I'm unworthy of love. So there are the answers to these four statements. And it would be interesting for me And please leave a comment later where you find you hang out sometimes without really realizing it. Where's your hidden pattern in this case? Being a victim seems weak, but it hides seeking attention, moral superiority, and sympathy. Being the perpetrator, on the other hand, looks strong, but it hides fear, guilt, and disconnection. So in the relations game, where do you shrink? Where do you dominate? I know I struggle with this polarity as well, because once you're sort of in it and the pain body grips you, as Eckhart Tolle describes it, it's very hard to see any options open to you to get out of this. It's actually a very courageous move to be the first to step out of this cycle and speak your truth without judgment, without blaming, and without holding back in a fearful way, and also to set a very conscious boundary, for instance. If this polarity shook something loose, watch the next video where I take another polarity and take it through this square process to find hidden patterns that are actually unconsciously ruling your life. Click over here and watch it now.